For 33 years, Tony Wingert has dedicated his life to the residents of Woodbury County. Friday will be his last day to wear that badge one final time.
KTIV's Katie Koppel sits down with the outgoing chief deputy of the Woodbury County Sheriff's Office ahead of his retirement.
I have lifelong friends. We've raised 3 kids. One's following in our footsteps. We got 2 grandchildren. We have a house. We have an acreage, all because of the Woodbury County Sheriff's Office and the people of Woodbury County.
Growing up in Woodbury County and joining the ranks of law enforcement was a calling for Tony Wingert.
I have 2 uncles that are now retired from the Sioux City Police Department. I have another uncle that retired from a sheriff's office in Nebraska.
Now chief deputy for Woodbury County, Wingert has had many roles with the sheriff's office during his 33 years of service.
The first 20 were pretty fun. Chasing bad guys, helping people out on the streets. I love working nights. I worked 2 dogs. I worked at SWAT team. I was on the DEA task force.
A lot has changed for law enforcement, he said. When he started his career, body-worn and in-car cameras were not part of the job.
Now, if I tried to take cameras away from my staff, I think they would have a riot.
That staff now includes his son, Zach.
As a dad, I'm scared, but as a cop, I know what agency he's going to and the training and the guys and gals that he's with. They look out for each other, so that makes me feel good.
With more than 3 decades in law enforcement, Wingert has been on countless calls. But for him, it's been all about the people he's helped along the way.
When you call a cop, you're not having the best day. We usually see people at their worst and are their neediest. And if we can assist them in any way, they're thankful. And that's a good feeling.
As he prepares to put on his badge for the final time on Friday, Chief Deputy Tony Wingert says serving the people of Woodbury County has been his greatest honor.
You got a great bunch of men and women that are out there protecting you. Are they perfect? No. They mean to do the best job that they can at every time. And you should be very, very proud of the job that they're attempting to do. We pride ourselves, and I think we have a hell of a department.
In Woodbury County, Iowa, Katie Koppel, KTIV News 4.
So what's next for Chief Deputy Wingert? He says he looks forward to spending more time with his family, including his 2 grandsons.
And he will no longer wear a badge, but Wingert isn't quite done in law enforcement. He's joined the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center Authority, so he'll bring a unique view to the board that oversees the new building and county jail. Wingert says he wants to see that the new LEC is an asset to the county and that it serves the residents in this county.
Now that it's built, I think where I come in as a voice is I know how it needs to be ran, and if something breaks or something's not going the way, they don't have to convince me. I know or I don't know. Yeah, they need that, but I just want to make sure the building is standing and still fulfilling its need 20 years from now when the authority is no longer needed.
Wingert will serve a 6-year term with the authority, replacing Ron Wick.